What the hell is wrong with some people? OMG. Well, we don't use psychic abilities in court, peeps. I don't think they are a psychic as much as they need to focus on putting the cuckoo back in the clock. Hello all, Stacy the Black Feather Intuitive, and welcome to the Black Feather Reacts, a new segment as part of my Black Feather Couture Divining a VIP Life. And we are on part 4 of quite a bizarre saga where I'm following a TikTok psychic who just lost her shit, quite frankly. I mean, completely batshit crazy, out of her mind, accusing people, just pulling it out of her head and talking about how, like, shame on the police for not reaching out to her when they could have and should have, and she was willing to work for free. And I mean, just the epitome and the height of hubris. And I want to say narcissistic tendency is how I would put that. And the story the plot thickens. Just when I think that we're coming to an end, he tells me there's another part to this, yet one more segment. So Keone, what the fuck is going on for part 4? Like,
oh my God.
Imagine, I mean, last time she was fleeing the country and told everyone she was going to go to Bali. Like, come on now, really? Like, tell everybody where you're going? That's bright.
Bali and her son didn't want to go with her. And she didn't say for a couple days. She said for a couple months to get herself together, So that was the TikTok psychic is fleeing the country. Now we go to the worst, covered by Atozy, the worst lawsuit response ever.
Oh, okay.
So
wow.
We saw the responses to all the defamation lawsuits in the beginning.
Right, and then she decided not to respond. She was all bluster and no blow, and then she lost it because she didn't respond.
Right, because it should have been automatically, thrown out. I guess, things just automatically happen. But let's see what's happening. He's going to update us.
All right. In my last video, we talked about how a TikTok psychic announced that she was essentially fleeing to Bali due to what was going on in her life. But what she didn't mention in that video is the fact that she spent the last couple of months harassing a professor in Idaho, accusing her of doing some of the worst crimes with little to no evidence whatsoever. And me saying little to no evidence is being extremely generous because her only evidence is her visions and tarot cards. And today we're going to find out why she made that Bali video, because the YouTuber by the name of Mad Catster actually sent me the full lawsuit document. So massive shout out to him. But when I read through her legitimate legal response to the court, I'm gonna put this very lightly and say Bali might be a really good option for her. So today we'll be looking at some of the highlights of that. And before I play that, remember this is what she said before she responded to the lawsuit.
People just don't get it. Like, I've been against people, big and small corporations and giants and systemic policies and racism and won. They all regret coming against me. All of them. Now, Rebecca is going to be added to that list of regretful people.
So let's see if it's the professor that's going to regret filing this lawsuit or not. Quick disclaimer, I'm not a lawyer. This is purely for entertainment and learning how to not respond to a lawsuit purposes. So I might get some stuff wrong. So if I do, please correct me in the comments down below so I can also learn. It starts off with Ashley Gilliard just denying a bunch of the allegations. Then it goes on to say the venue is improper for this case because the events giving rise to the claims of defamation took place on Ashley Gilliard's social media pages. There's no district in which this action may otherwise be brought except the U.S. District Court of Southern District of Texas. That doesn't quite make sense because everything that Ashley's alleging here happened in Idaho, so it makes sense for it to happen in Idaho. Again, I'm not a lawyer though. The complaint fails to state a claim upon which relief can be granted. Plaintiff's claims are barred by the substantial truth doctrine pursuant to Master versus New York Magazine and corporate. Plaintiff's claims are barred by qualified privilege. The 4 University of Idaho students were brutally murdered. Without the arrest of there's a presumption of danger to the public. University of Idaho constituents and Idaho residents discovering and revealing the with the intent to get them investigated and arrested is an act to warn others about harm and danger to bring to resolution to the problem. The statement.
Oh, she was making those statements to keep the society safe.
Of course, because, what was it? One of her TikTok names was I am God embodied or some
Yeah.
bullshit.
Yeah.
So she's got this God complex. She's got this idea that I'm the savior and only I. It's like cult energy. It's like trying to create a cult so that I'm the only person that can solve all the problems of fucking
Oh,
humanity, and
dear
just believe
God.
me and listen to me. She is a piece of fucking work. I can't get over this woman. I can't get over this woman
So you
and
don't
the
want to have
depths of
a lunch
gravity that
date with
she goes to try and make this bad choice right.
You don't want to have a lunch day with her and share ideas? You sure?
Oh fuck no. I
Okay.
want to be nowhere near this type of energy. This is the lowest vibrational energy you can find.
No, we can find lower. Let's just keep going.
Ugh.
Best interest of public safety. Ashley Gilliard made these statements without actual malice. Therefore, qualified privilege permits Ashley Gilliard to make the statements that in the different circumstances would typically be considered defamatory. With this logic though, that means that anyone can slander anyone and claim that they are a as long as the actual is on the loose.
Right.
I don't know what kind of big brain mental gymnastics this is, but
Right.
okay. Plaintiff's claims are barred by fraud because they're false, prejudiced, frivolous, and claimed with malice. To get away with unethical conduct, adultery, and plaintiff's claims are barred by comparative negligence. The plaintiff, Rebecca Scofield, committed the allegations that defendant Ashley Gilliard alleged as they're substantially true. The plaintiff, Rebecca Scofield, is at least 51% at fault for being accused of the allegation.
Where is she getting percentages from?
Oh my God. She's pulling them out of her ass, is where she's getting them from. There is nothing here. Psychic guidance is supposed to be part of the whole. Like, you use psychic guidance as a tool, the same as you use like a therapist, the same as you use a processor, the same as you use rational logical thought and like what is in front of you, what you can see in front of you. I mean, it's a whole package. She is literally pulling this shit out of her ass, and you can tell when she's doing this. Clearly she's not paying for legal advice. She's doing this on her own, and I think this was like maybe before AI, so I don't know if AI helped her with this.
No, I
Claim.
don't even think AI would probably tell her that she's making a grave mistake. Um, there was AI back then, but it wasn't like ChatGPT was blowing up back then. I don't think she would have
Right.
known about
Yeah, I don't think
it.
so.
No,
Not at that time. But she's just pulling shit out of her ass, and she's acting like everything's fine. She really would do well to get actual legal representation to help her,
well,
because
no, you don't need that when you
everyone's
can
getting
see
off
everything
this
that's going to
madness.
happen. Why would you pay for legal representation if you can tell what's about to happen? You're just wasting money.
Okay. I mean, it
51%
doesn't work that way, but okay.
of the allegations. Therefore, plaintiff Rebecca Schofield may not recover damages. All right.
Therefore, the plaintiff, Rebecca Scofield, may not recover damages. What is this? I mean, this woman has just doubled down so many times. I guess why not do it yet another time in a literal legal letter?
Yeah.
I want to know, like, how did she get to the professor is at least 51% at fault for being accused of the allegations? Make it make sense. But moving on, plaintiff's claims are barred by illegality because they are prejudiced pursuant to U.S. Code. Plaintiff's claims are barred by illegality. I am tired. I've slept for like 2 hours in the last 24 hours, but my son said dada for the first time to me today, so it's all worth it. Don't worry. Plaintiff's claims are barred by Plaintiff's claims are barred by illegality because they're claimed with an intent to obstruct civil justice and with the intent to obstruct criminal justice pursuant to code. Counterclaims. Counterclaim plaintiff Ashley Gilliard bring these counterclaims against counterclaim defendant Rebecca Scofield and their attorneys. This is where it gets absolutely batshit.
I love that we're in part 4 and now it's just getting batshit.
Wow.
That's why I kept telling you, hold my beer when you kept saying, this is
Yeah.
crazy. I'm like, Stacey, we haven't even gotten to the crazy part yet.
I can't believe it's gotten this far. Like, yeah, wow. Yeah, hold my.
It's this is a doozy. I don't know how much we're gonna go through here, but wow. If you thought what we read so far is bad, You're in for it, guys. You're really in for it. As set forth more below on December 21st, Rebecca Scofield and attorneys with blah, 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 blah. They filed a complaint against Ashley Gilliard, notwithstanding the fact that the claims are false, defamatory, with the intent to obstruct justice for the case of the murder of 4 University of Idaho students. All the victims' names. Ashley Gilliard was the only person aware of Rebecca Scofield's role in the of the 4 university students who spoke up about it. Have you ever been to Idaho, Ashley? Like, if you really are a psychic, what are the Powerball numbers? This is so
Well, you know
There
what?
you
I
go.
know you
You
probably,
always bring up the lottery.
I
Yeah,
know you probably get tired of people saying that.
I
It's
do.
such
I
a
get
trope
very
thing.
frustrated
It's
with
like,
that.
and that's why I kept telling, no, psychics don't know everything. There's so many different
We're here to
layers.
learn our own lessons too. You know, if
Yeah.
I knew the way the world worked, there'd be no point in me being here. You know what I
Well,
mean? Like,
you think a psychic who knows the Powerball number is not just going to play fucking Powerball and they're going to
right?
tell
Then I
you?
would be the fucking leader of the whole fucking world, and the world would run very differently than the way it
Well,
runs now.
you wouldn't even be doing this. You'd be off enjoying your life.
Yeah,
I
well,
don't think you
no,
would go
I
to.
would still be doing this just because that's who I am. But yeah,
Yeah.
I hear you. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah.
insane. So she's claiming she was the only person who knew about this. Has no evidence. She just saw it in a vision and whipped out a tarot card. And by the way, I learned how to say tarot card now. Apparently, it's not pronounced like carrot. I guess we learn something new every day. Ashley Gillard was apparently.
What'd you say?
I said that was driving me crazy in all of the other videos. He kept saying tarot, and you know, like taro, tomato. But yeah, tarot. Ooh, it's like nails on a chalkboard. So that's great.
At least somebody probably corrected him and he said, I'll say it right. He could have been like, what the hell ever.
Right? He could have
Yeah.
not given a shit. Yeah.
The only person aware of Rebecca Scofield's role in the murder of the 4 university students who spoke up about it to stop Ashley Gilliard from, that's a big word, promulgating her testimony of Rebecca Scofield's role
Exactly
in
how I feel
the
with
and to
legal.
get away with the Rebecca Scofield and her attorneys, blah, 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 filed a frivolous, prejudice, and defamatory complaint against Ashley Gilliard. Attorney, blah, 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 and Rebecca Scofield collectively executed a strategy to discredit, embarrass, humiliate, and assassinate Ashley Gilliard's character by disseminating false statements in a press release that was disseminated worldwide and to the most of the major news outlets across America in the beginning of late December 2022 and continuing into January 2023. Now, these false statements apparently was that Ashley Gilliard decided to use the community's pain for her online self-promotion.
This is exactly what I was saying in a previous segment. This was her looking for her 15 minutes of fame. And I don't think she thought it through when she started it off. She was just trying to find kind of a unique niche. And when she found a little bit more, fame, people started turning in, to this and listening to her a little bit more. And then it became a thing because of the lawsuit. She just really doubled down on it. And she got kind of like drunk on this illusory power, and that's really what I feel it's about at this point. It's the illusory power.
Because I think she thought she was going to do a couple TikToks and then move on to the next thing. She didn't know that the person would actually, because you know what? People could have just ignored her, which she probably thought.
Yeah.
I mean, not people of course watched her, but she probably thought, I'd never hear from this Rebecca person.
Yeah. And then when she did and she had the opportunity to stop, she just dove right on in. She's like, oh, this is my meal ticket. This is my 15 minutes of fame. Oh, God, it's sickening. It actually, I do not feel good watching these right now. Like my stomach is hurting. My whole body is like, this is terrible. And I don't feel bad for her. I feel bad for the people that she has, been defaming, you know what I mean? Like, and at the same time, yay, because they're going to get some money out of the deal. I think that, that part is really good. At least there's going to be some kind of justice. But I mean, Rebecca Scofield now forever is going to be known and associated with this fucking scandal. Like, it's insane.
The good thing for her, I think it will pass because it mostly has. We're in 2025 now. It started 2 years ago, 1 years ago. It's always going to be something she's thinking about, but at least some idiot's not out there making new videos about her, or who knows, they might resurface. We never know.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, yes, people are fickle, but people also, I mean, we live in an age where nothing dies, nothing goes away. You know what I mean? Like you put it on the internet, it's there for life.
It,
You
it
can
goes
pay a
away, and
ton of money to try and scrub something, but it's
you
always
don't.
really be
The
there.
smart thing to do is just let it die, and it only resurfaces if somebody brings it back up and it goes viral, and then you're back talking about it again. But other than that,
Yeah,
the best thing to do is don't talk about it and just let it die.
yeah.
Statement that Ashley Gilliard made false statements about Rebecca Scofield knowing they were false. A false statement that Ashley Gilliard had no basis to make factual statements regarding any of these events that occurred in Idaho. A false statement that said Ashley Gilliard made false statements regarding Rebecca Scofield's involvement in the 4 University of Idaho students that were not based in substantial truth. A false statement that Ashley Gilliard damaged Rebecca Scofield's reputation. A false statement that Ashley Gilliard undermined law enforcement efforts. And a false statement that Ashley Gilliard compounded the trauma that the families of the victims were experiencing. How was any of that false? Because that's pretty much exactly what she did. Yeah. I'm pretty sure this is written by Ashley Gilliard as well. I didn't see that she had a lawyer hired.
Right,
I saw one of the top comments of her videos was, "Don't hire a lawyer, they will only hold you back." And I'm worried she took that advice.
Don't hire a lawyer that'll only hold your back. You know what? I'm glad she didn't, because if she hired, you know what, she hired a lawyer, she probably wouldn't have listened to him anyway.
Right, because she knows best, because she's God.
Oh, gee.
It's like every single...
It makes me think of Nurse Jackie. Have you ever seen the series Nurse Jackie? There's a character, a recurring character in there that shows up every once in a while. His name is God, and he's a schizophrenic. He's a person who often will get off his meds and, you know, creates all sorts of, you know, havoc or whatever, shouting from the window of his building and things of that nature. But he really genuinely believes that he is God, and he operates in his whole, like, everything about him is like, I am God and nobody can tell me different. And, you know, I have this almighty wisdom and power. Meanwhile, he's got serious mental illness, right? And everybody just kind of like takes them under his wing. They do the best to kind of care for him. They know when he's off his meds, but he really genuinely believes he's God.
The plot twist in fanfic is he is.
Oh, okay.
I'm so serious.
Well, maybe that's the plot twist here too. Maybe we all are delusional, and this is actually reality and truth, and we're all
testing everyone that comes in contact with him in Nurse Jackie. Every single person is being judged on how they treat him, look at him,
and
sure, operate with him. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, I get that part of the metaphor, but this woman, I don't know. There is some serious shit going down here.
Right.
Media outlet that I guess talked about her, including some YouTubers. Let's see. So it seems like Inabber, you got a shout out in the lawsuit, buddy. Look at that. Made it to the big leagues. Ashley Gilliard's listing you in a lawsuit. Always cool to be mentioned in a lawsuit when you're not the person being sued. Then we have also, I think Marky was mentioned in this, and then another YouTuber by the name of Dr. Grande or Grand. Oh, and then Law and Crime Network. So that's cool. Didn't look like we made it into the cut in the lawsuit here. But I mean, hey, the more lawsuits I can avoid being mentioned in, the better. All right, so moving down to parties, it says counterclaim plaintiff Ashley Gilliard is a individual residing in Texas. She's an author, entrepreneur, and United States Army combat veteran. Ashley, thank you for your service, but everything else you're doing is whack. But then she claims that Rebecca Scofield is a public figure. If anything, Ashley Gilliard made her a public figure by accusing her of all this crap. Oh, and then
yeah, you were just going to say that. You made her, you know, Ron White always said, he tells this joke about he got thrown out of a bar for being drunk. And when the police came and went to arrest him, he says, "What am I being arrested for?" They're like, "Drunk in public." He goes, "I wasn't drunk in public. I was drunk in the bar and they threw me into public."
Into the public place. Oh boy. Splitting hairs.
He's right. I was in there being drunk. They threw me into public.
That's so funny.
Oh my God, what a mess.
Yeah.
Ashley called out the lawyers of Rebecca Scofield because apparently they called out Ashley for defaming Rebecca Scofield with full knowledge of the potential of the statements that Ashley Gilliard made about Rebecca Scofield's role in the, the Idaho students could be true. Whoa. The claims against Ashley Gilliard are in bad faith, lacking in fact, with no intent to harass, delay, and embarrass Ashley Gilliard. I'm actually kind of blown away at how much she has written here. This is if the term digging your own grave was put into a legal document. I mean, this is insanity. And then she calls out Rebecca Scofield for publishing false statements that Ashley Gilliard compounded the trauma of the families of the victims' experiences. Ashley's just really upset for all the media saying that she's saying a bunch of false statements. And then she quotes all the news articles. One of the attorneys of Rebecca Scofield made the false defamatory statement about Ashley Gilliard knowing it was false and regardless of its falsity or not. The truth.
You know how much time you have to have on your hands to sit there and respond to a lawsuit, which is several pages, and then go find every article that mentioned you? Like, again, it's from the very first episode when he said, "Why are you spending your energy on this?"
Because she needs to matter.
God.
She needs to matter. That's what this is all about.
Now you got to be indignant.
Yeah.
Is the inverse. Ashley Gilliard was trying to help the investigation as requested by Moscow Police Department. And then she has this whole bit claiming that all of those unhinged TikToks was a response to the police department in trying to help solve the whole case. Okay. After the defamatory allegations, Ashley Gilliard was unable to focus on serving others and received less inquiries due to the damage to her reputation. If the truth was told, Ashley Gilliard would have been able to serve more people, to include helping to solve the of musician Kirshnik Karibal, aka Takeoff, Shankella Robinson, Tiffany Valiante, Kevin Samuels, and Tamla Horsford. I probably butchered a couple of those names. I thought Kevin Samuels died from a heart attack. I'm so... What? This is a doozy, guys. This is really a doozy. If being left speechless was a document. So I love how she really just dropped the Uno reverse card saying that Rebecca Scofield is defaming her. And then there's a whole segment about Ashley Gilliard receiving harassing phone calls, emails, texts, and comments because of her videos, maliciously misdiagnosing her as insane, maliciously misdiagnosing her as crazy. I mean, your actions are insane and crazy, to put it lightly. What I'm getting from this...
That's right. I may not be able to diagnose you as insane and crazy because I'm not a doctor, but your actions are definitely insane and crazy.
Oh, absolutely. The behavior is right there. And that's why I say... I'm not here to diagnose her as narcissistic, but she's definitely showing a lot of narcissistic tendencies in her behavior towards this situation.
Well, I'm going to take back what I just said. I can't diagnose somebody, but I am going to diagnose. I forgot. I saw in her eyes. She's fucking crazy. I'm sorry. And I can use crazy because crazy is not a diagnosis. You know, they have schizophrenia, narcissism. They have all these things. I'm just going to say she's fucking batshit crazy. That's my diagnosis. Thank you, Dr. Keone Stevens.
Yes.
She is absolutely not self-aware whatsoever. Now Ashley is claiming emotional distress, mental distress, suffering, and anguish, including depression, shame, humiliation, shock, embarrassment, grief, anxiety, and fear. Ashley Gilliard suffered the loss of enjoyment of life. Ashley Gilliard typically travels on New Year's Eve, as she did for 2021. Instead, 2022, she chose to stay inside for fear of her life, arguments, and embarrassment.
Did you say she put it on herself?
Yes, there are consequences for our choices. Be accountable.
Why is she not enjoying life? I thought she was going to go to Bali.
Yeah, exactly. But now suddenly her life isn't, well, you brought it on yourself. When you open the door to that kind of stuff, that is what happens. You can't sit here and think that, you're immune to that. I mean, if the roles are reversed and someone was doing that to her and treating her that way, how would she behave? What would she be doing? Nobody's talking about that.
She'd make it worse.
Yes, she would play victim. That's what she's doing here. She's playing victim.
Yeah, she would make it worse because she doesn't even know how to play victim.
God, it's painful. This is painful to watch.
She should have. If she was smart, she would have went to a doctor and got diagnosed with some mental problem.
Yes, with some kind of mental illness. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the issue, and that's why I did that. And I'm sorry, and I regret it. But of course, you can't do that.
I mean, this is incredibly sad, but like, why would you make 100 videos with no evidence claiming that someone committed a terrible crime? If you're going to accuse someone for something on the internet, you have to have more proof than visions and tarot cards. Yeah, that's for sure. Okay, so now like her relief, right? So she wants a mass press release with a statement that Ashley Gilliard approves. Every news outlet that this lawsuit was covered to social media outlets, Facebook, Twitter, and all that, correcting the false claims made against Ashley Gilliard. She wants a mass press release with an apology to Ashley Gilliard that she approves for all the accusations made against her. She wants compensatory and punitive damages in the amount of determined by the judge. Attorney and court fees may arise now in the future or for any action related to this case. My understanding of this is she missed the original time to respond to the lawsuit. Then she hit him with the Uno reverse card and essentially accused them of defamation. And then she wants a public apology tour for defaming her.
Wow. Delusion.
What do you say to that? So this is a prime example on how not to respond to a lawsuit, a case study. If you want to know how we got here, you should watch this video. But I'm going to call it and see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Yeah. Wow. Like living in your own delusional world.
She's creating her own hell.
Yeah, she really is.
Yeah.
That's some serious. So I don't talk a lot about karma because I feel like karma is often misunderstood and people use it kind of in, I would say, well, like they misuse it. They don't use it in the appropriate ways. It just means like things that are undone. But this, I mean, wow. Like, what lesson are you trying to learn? What is your soul trying to teach you in this moment? Like
I think karma, the thing with karma,
to go down this path.
I think the karma, the thing that people get it wrong is they always use it when it's something bad. Karma's good and bad. When you do something great and something great happens for you, it's karma. When you do something shitty and something shitty happens to you, it's karma.
I'm really curious to see what she learns from this.
I thought I was the funny one of the pair of us.
Well, because I mean, it's just absurd. Everything here that we're watching is just absurd.
It is absurd.
So, and that says a lot living in the times that we're living in right now. I feel like what we're watching is also kind of what's playing out on, the global stage. And here, if you're in the US, what's happening in the US right now. Like
I always say this. This is the way people have always been. We just get to see it now.
Yeah, I guess
it's the batshit crazy
not
people
hiding under a rock anymore. Yeah. It's just out in the open.
You just know the people in your neighborhood. You may not know it when you're a kid, but when you become an adult, you start thinking about people that you grew up around. I knew the batshit crazy ones. There were Karens back then when I was a kid in the 90s. They just weren't called Karens and they weren't no cell phones. Racist people, entitled people, like everything's always been here, but everybody says the world's going to hell because of social media. It's like, no, social media is just exposing people.
Yeah.
What they are.
So disturbing.
But it's awesome because it gives me something to talk about. So,
well, there you go. As you keep
crazy.
Reminding me, it's entertainment because I don't understand why people get involved in all of this stuff. But
all right. Hopefully, she gets it together after part 6. But until then, we're gonna end part 4 here, and we'll see you guys for part 5.
All right, ciao! Can't wait to see what's coming up.
Yay!
What the hell is wrong with some people? OMG. Well, we don't use psychic abilities in court, peeps. I don't think they are a psychic as much as they need to focus on putting the cuckoo back in the clock.